really nice. We'll be here all night. It's the story about the box. Interesting that you should ask that, actually. It's about losing myself slowly, which at first feels like or seems like it might be a scary thing, to the idea of losing yourself, losing your identity. Something started shifting and changing inside of me after growing up in Ireland, which was a very strong Catholic country, and so I grew up with a very strong, in a sense, programming in my mind of what was right, what was wrong, what's good, what's bad, how to live life, how not to live life. And it took many years for that to sort of make space so that I could actually figure out who I was underneath all of that stuff that I'd learned as a kid. And one of the things that I had learned as a kid was in relation to relationships. And so, for example, in a romantic relationship, I had learned that somebody loves you if they do this, 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 and this. Somebody doesn't love you if they do this, 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 and this, and this. And so I had learned conditional love, and I had taken that conditional love, which probably most of us have or have learned. I had taken that conditional love into relationships, into romantic relationships, into these relationships that were supposed to be great loves, and destroyed the relationships indirectly because I believed so strongly that this was wrong if the person did something or if a situation was a certain way. And after having gone through that situation over and over, I started to realize that there was only one thing in common in all of those relationships, and that was me. And so I started to look for the problem, or the issue inside instead. And when I did that, that's when I started to lose myself. My identity started to crumble and fall apart. And I started to realize that I had been living my life in a box. And that I had tried to break out a number of times, and each time I tried to break out and tried to be free and tried to be free to be me, I noticed that others in society would knock me down to try to keep me in that box because everybody else was in their box, and it was like, you better stay in there because we're in. And I noticed that as somebody starts to break free and break out of their box, other people start to dislike them or get angry at them or hate them and envy them in some ways. And so that song is about trying to navigate my way through an internal transition without becoming somebody that my friends or family or other people started to envy or started to hate because I had let go so much, and yet I wanted so much to let go before I died. So it's all about that journey, so that's what it is.